Good evening, Legacy families. I'm Nicole Kirkley, Chief Academic Officer. Thank you for joining us for our first ever virtual town hall, Safe Return to School. With me this evening is Jennifer Hackett, Leadership Coach in Nevada.
Good evening, everyone.
We would like to welcome you to the Nevada Safe Return to School virtual town hall. The start of the school year is always a very exciting time for Legacy, but this year will look much different due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, we are still committed to providing academic excellence in a safe learning environment for all of our students to start school with us again in the fall. As we prepare to return to campus, we will be discussing our guiding principles and safety measures implemented across all of our Legacy schools to keep our students and staff healthy and safe as we plan to reopen. And thank you, each one of you, for your patience as we have worked to finalize our plans for the 2020-2021 school year Safe Return to School guidelines. We'll review the agenda for this evening before we get started. We're going to cover our first day of school for all of our Nevada schools, as well as the school programming options, followed by healthy practices, safe return to school guidelines, cleaning and sanitizing procedures, contingency planning, and last, we'll end with commonly asked questions and answers from our parents. I will now turn it over to Ms. Hackett to discuss our first day of school and our school programming options.
Thank you. The first day of school for all Nevada Legacy students is Wednesday, August 12th. At some point during the first day on August 12th, your student must log into Schoology to ensure that their attendance is recorded. Let's review the school programming options for Nevada. Legacy Traditional Schools will be offering 2 learning options for students this year in Nevada. And again, the first day of school is on the 12th, August 12th. Whether you choose in-person or online for learning options, all students will be required to start school as remote learners for the 2021 school year until August 24th. Or as otherwise indicated by our state officials. If a student wishes to change their options, a change may be done at the end of a quarter or the grading period. And additionally, there will be a week-long grace period beginning the first day of school in which a student may change their selection. So there are 2 different options, programming options. One is blended learning. In our blended learning group, students will be grouped into 2 tracks. There's a red track where students will attend school in person on Monday and Tuesday and will receive online instruction the rest of the week. In the blue track, students will attend school in person on Wednesdays and Thursdays and will receive online instruction the other days of the week. In addition to online instruction, Fridays will be reserved for tutoring sessions and other services for students as needed. And as required by state and local authorities, students ages 10 and older will be expected to wear face coverings when on campus. Now, our other option is online learning. Well, let's go back a little bit. Can we go back a couple slides, please? There we go. Sorry about that. 100% of the learning will be online through our platform called Schoology. Students will receive all course content online instruction in math, phonograms, spelling, reading, writing, grammar, social studies, and science. And their electives and specials will be limited. Attendance will be tracked by monitoring students' daily login to Schoology. Students will be marked absent if they do not log in daily. Students will be assigned a new online learning teacher. A little bit more about blended learning. Students will wash their hands at least every 2 hours before and after lunch and before and after leaving the classroom when on campus. There'll be a modified lunch schedule with students eating in their classroom some days and in the cafeteria other days. Additionally, cleaning measures will be in place to sanitize those high-touch surface areas every day. And then every evening, our custodians will sanitize the entire building. Attendance online learning days will be tracked by monitoring the students' login to Schoology, and students again will be marked absent if they don't log in. When learning online, students will receive a combination of recorded video instruction, online discussions, assignments, quizzes, and tests each week. In our online platform, students will receive a combination of recorded video instruction, online discussions, assignments, quizzes, and tests each week. Live interaction with teachers will occur for 1 hour each day and during tutoring sessions offered twice per week. Students will be assigned a new online teacher. Information on who your child's online teacher will be, along with Schoology log information, will be shared prior to the start of school. Students who are in need of a loaner laptop to complete online learning will have the option of borrowing a device from our campus. Loaner laptops are only available on an as-needed basis.
Legacy Traditional Schools will continue to follow strict health guidelines to ensure the safety of our students and staff when on campus. Physical distancing will be adhered to, when possible, by all staff and students on campus. Face coverings are recommended by Legacy unless required by county or state officials. Capacity limits have been established for all areas on campus. When in the classroom, desks will remain in a grid-like pattern. Each teacher will have a first aid kit to allow minor injuries or scrapes to be handled within the classroom and limit the number of visits to the health office. If there is a confirmed case of COVID, the school will issue a notification to the class to any students who were affiliated with the member that tested positive. Students and staff with a fever or other COVID-like symptoms must be fever or symptom-free for 72 hours prior to return. Hand washing is required every 2 hours by students and staff and has already been built into the schedule for the day. Hand sanitizer will also be available on campus in addition to hand washing, not in replacement of. All students and staff are expected to conduct a self-screening of body temperature and COVID symptoms prior to reporting to the school building. So parents, you will need to check your child's temperature prior to bringing them to school each day. Campuses will also designate an isolation area on campus for any students or staff exhibiting symptoms to keep them away from others while sick. If there is a confirmed case, as we stated, the school will issue a notification to the parents of the student who may have had affiliation with the individual who tested positive, and we will follow guidance from the county and state health officials. In alignment with CDC guidelines, Legacy has also identified a temperature of 100.4 or higher, and any COVID-like flu symptoms as criteria for an absence. If fever or symptoms are present at the time of screening, staff should report that to their supervisor and students should report that to the attendance line.
Legacy Traditional Schools procedure for safely returning to school focuses on implementing CDC recommendations related to physical distancing and gatherings to limit the number of people on campus as much as possible. In our cafeteria, no more than 3 classes of students will be present at a time. Out on our playground, only 1 grade level should be at AM or PM recess at a time, and the administrative staff will create a staggered schedule. Our hallways will be marked with arrows so students can only walk one direction on one side of the hallway and another direction on the other side. Within the classroom, students will not be asked to sit on the floor in circles or in partners or groups at any time, and our students will not share desk supplies. Our morning drop-off, students should proceed directly from their vehicle to their classroom upon being dropped off at school. Our water fountains should not be used to drink directly from, but can only be used to fill a water bottle. Our physical education classes will be held outdoors to the greatest extent possible. In our band classes, students will not be playing instruments and must remain in their face coverings. Our driveline students will not be able to be picked up through the office or from the classroom. Parents will only be able to pick up students utilizing the driveline process. Our gatherings for students, our flag ceremony will not convene in person, but it will be held in the classroom or it will be done virtually. No class events will be scheduled until further notice. And our emergency evacuation drills, such as our fire drills, will be practiced in small groups. In our food service, students in kindergarten through 6th grade, will alternate between eating in cafeteria and eating in the classroom. For students eating in the cafeteria, lunch will be served from the counter and it will be a hot lunch, but the salad bar will not be offered. And students will not be typing in their number on the device anymore. The staff members will do that for them. Grades K through 6 lunchtime, the principals will create a staggered lunch schedule for the classrooms and will assign a rotating schedule to ensure that no more than 3 classes eat lunch in the cafeteria per lunch period. Now our junior high students, all students will keep the same lunch time. Half of the students will be outside eating or outside playing while the other students are eating, and then they will switch. Sorry about that. Breakfast will still be served from 7:30 to 8 a.m. But the tables will be set up one-sided so that all students are facing one direction. And the same thing will happen for lunch. Students will sit no more than 4 to a bench, and students will report directly to the classroom after they eat. Tutoring groups will still happen. Teachers will only tutor students in their own classrooms. After school sports, only athletes and coaches will be allowed at practice. Athletes should use hand sanitizer before and after games and practice. Water and their personal athletic equipment will not be shared. Only immediate family members, the parents and the siblings, may attend games as spectators, and all students will be, or all athletes will be asked to sign an additional COVID-19 waiver to participate. After school clubs, field trips, and musicals are postponed or will occur virtually until further notice. Parents, the campus remains closed to all parents, visitors, and guests, with the exception of parents dropping off a child or picking up a child early from school or dropping them off if they are late. Before entering the office, be prepared to comply with active municipal, county, state mandates related to face coverings. Back to school night. Back to school night will be held as a minimal contact remote event. The event will be held at a published date and time, but will take place using a combination of a remote and in-person engagement. Remote back to school engagement, teachers will be available in a live video conference to meet their students. Minimal contact in-person engagement, tables will be set up in front of the school during all driveline times for parents needing more information on driveline, lunch, our Legacy Kids Care program, and other questions. And the teachers will be able to give parents the welcome packet and collect supplies during this time.
Following CDC guidelines, Legacy has implemented cleaning and sanitizing procedures to ensure our campuses are safe for our students and staff. The campus facilities team will oversee the cleaning and sanitizing efforts throughout the campus with daily cleaning routines, sanitizing of high-touch surfaces throughout the day, and deep cleaning after all large gatherings. Static fog guns will be purchased to expedite the cleaning and sanitizing process for all high-touch surfaces throughout the day. If there is a confirmed case within the building of COVID-19, a deep cleaning protocol will be initiated after consultation with the COVID task force. The facilities team and cleaning sanitizing responsibilities will include evening custodian sanitizing the entire facility. Shared play sets and swings will be cleaned using sanitizing spray between every lunch and recess period. Recess balls will be sprayed with disinfectant between each lunch and recess period as well. Food services and staff will assist with cleaning as well and disinfect highly touched surfaces in the kitchen, disinfect shared uses areas in the kitchen, clean and sanitize the prep tables, and practice proper hand hygiene and face coverings will be worn when working in the kitchen at all times.
Legacy Traditional Schools is prepared to respond in the event of a COVID-19 outbreak or a change to school operations. Our contingency plan. If there is an outbreak of COVID-19 within the school or another situation that causes undue concern relative to the safety of the students, the principal will consult with the COVID task force to determine if it is safe to continue operating the school or portions of it. The task force will determine whether or not an interim closure should be implemented. In the event that the school operations are determined to be unsafe to continue for an interim period of time, notice will be provided to parents and all students will convert to a remote learning environment until it's safe to return to school.
Thank you. We're now going to go through our commonly asked parent questions to try and provide a little more clarity. So the first question, I was under the impression that blended learning would be Monday, Wednesday, Friday for one group and Tuesday, Thursday for another group. Why did it change? Well, as always, we look for our teacher and parent feedback, and our parent group was very vocal in the fact that they need consistency for their work schedules. We wanted to respect that this is a challenging time for all of our parents as well as our students, and we really needed to provide that consistency of the same days of school each week. As well, it's better for our students to know what to expect each week. So as we stated, one group will go every Monday and Tuesday, the next group will go every Wednesday and Thursday, and they will all have remote or in-person learning options on Friday based on student need.
Parents wanted to know, when does the first grace period for changing a child's learning option expire? Well, as I stated earlier, they have the first week of school to decide to make a change if they choose. If not, it can be done at the end of the quarter, the grading period. And the second part of that question, is the plan for this to continue for the whole school year, or will this be reassessed if the state moves into a more favorable place? As of right now, we have the 2 learning options, but again, as things change and we get more guidance from our government officials, we will reassess this. Can I split my, oh, sorry, I have one more.
No,
sorry.
it's okay.
There was
Go
another
ahead.
part to this one. It was a big question. Can I split my children into different groups to give them individual attention on the days that they're learning from home? Sure. If you would like to have one of your children in the red group and one in the blue group, please contact the register and let them know. But our goal is to try to keep families together if possible.
Sorry about that. My turn now for real. Which day of the week will be Spirit Day? So Fridays are set as Spirit Day, and we understand that Fridays are a day that the students aren't in school. So when we return to in-person learning, the Spirit Day will remain Friday. And in the meantime, please feel free to dress in your spirit wear on Fridays and post pictures to our Facebook page. I know the teachers and definitely the principals love to see those pictures posted.
Is there a possibility that students would not be able to return to school and will have to learn purely online? Well, let's hope that that doesn't happen, because we're super excited to have the kids come back. But as of right now, we're going to keep reviewing the plans as we get more information from our state officials. But as of right now, we have the hybrid model 50-50 and online learning.
The next question is, if I want my child to transfer from online to in-person, but there isn't enough seats, will my child be placed on a waiting list? Well, like we stated earlier, at the end of each quarter, parents may choose their option, and we do have seats available for all of our legacy students. So if a family wishes to change at the quarter from online to in-person, you will have that opportunity and there will be a seat for you.
Next question, will my student be assigned a teacher that will be the same in person and online? Online students will receive a new teacher different from their in-person teacher. So the answer to that is no.
All right, the next is, I am a single mom of 3 kids, 7th grade, 1st grade, and kindergarten. I work full-time from home. My kids will do online because they are high risk. How do I teach all 3 grades during the school hours? Well, we're very excited to say that our full online platform this year is a full teaching model. So the students will be instructed within the Schoology platform. Additionally, we have made it so that our students can work on the weekends and in the evening. So if they need personal one-on-one attention with their parent sitting with them, they have the flexibility to do so. Each student will need to log in once a day, Monday through Friday, for attendance purposes. However, if it works best for your family to do that work on the weekends or in the evenings, because that's when mom and dad are available to help, then that's absolutely acceptable. And I think that that sums up that. And there's a big one for you next, Ms. Hackett.
There sure is. Can we expect class sizes to be smaller this year? Well, the answer to that is yes. We are going to only have, we have some families that chose strictly online. So remember, those students will not be present at school. And then the students that are returning to school in the hybrid model will only have 50% capacity in those classrooms. So some students will be coming Monday and Tuesday, and the other group will be coming on Wednesday and Thursday. And the rest of the time they will be in their online learning. All core classes will be available online on days that students do not attend school in person. And on these days, students will use the online Schoology learning management system to access their curriculum and their instruction.
All right, the next question. My son is starting kindergarten. Any tips on how to keep him focused in the online school until he can go back? Also, will he need a uniform? So the first one is that our online platform for kindergarten is very interactive. So once they learn to utilize the program and click the buttons, it will read the instructions to them. The stories will be read to them. They simply click on the audio links. Additionally, students do not need to be in legacy uniform clothing when they're online learners. They will sometimes be able to submit videos, but they don't need to be in their uniform.
Okay, this question says, if my child has asthma or allergy symptoms such as sneezing or red eyes, but is not actually sick, will they be sent home from school? That's a good question. Your child will only be sent home if it's clear that they are experiencing severe symptoms that we would connect with COVID-19. For students exhibiting flu or COVID symptoms, all they need to do when they're home is use Schoology to complete their assignments. Or if they're exposed to COVID or they're sent home for showing symptoms, I think I went into your question, sorry. Students may log into Schoology and complete work online. If they're too sick, they can take it as an absence and they're able to make up the work later to avoid the absence.
All right, it looks like there's no, it's okay. There's a few questions about lunch, so I'll try and cover all those. How many children will be allowed in the cafeteria at once? No more than 3 classes. And remember, we only have 50% of the class at a time. Students in grade 7th and 8th, same thing. They will just split with some eating outside and some eating inside. Students won't have to touch the device as a reminder, only the staff members will. Will my child be able to receive meals beginning August 12th? The answer to that is yes. Lunches still may be purchased even during remote learning, and we will release the time that they may be picked up.
Okay, this question is about the Mozart program. If our child is in the Mozart program, does that mean they'll not be able to play an instrument this year? Unfortunately, students will not be able to play instruments at this time. Band and orchestra students will be taught general music instruction until further notice. Remember, they need to remain in their face coverings.
All right, if my child is online for the first quarter, is her spot saved for the class she's supposed to be in? Depending on numbers of how many students choose online and how many choose in person, if a child starts out online, we will place that child in the second quarter in the class with the lowest number of students. So to maintain social distancing as much as possible, class assignments may change.
Okay, this question is about the RISE program. My child is in the RISE program. Is this program still offered? We have chosen 50-50 for him and his sister. Will he be attending RISE in person or distance learning or both? If your family selected blended learning, yes, your child will still receive RISE. RISE is only offered for students attending in person. So if you chose totally online, the answer would be no. But if you chose blended learning, so 50-50, then your child will receive those RISE services.
All right, when they have tutoring sessions twice weekly, how long is it for? The answer to that is each session is 30 minutes. Is it one-on-one? It is not one-on-one tutoring, it's small group tutoring. And last, is this the only time they interact with their teacher? No, each teacher will offer 2 tutoring sessions a week, but in addition, each teacher beginning week 2 will offer a daily interactive teaching time where they cover the most important concepts that were taught through the online platform each day. If school closures go into effect and students can't return on August 24th when we anticipate, during that online period, week 3 and beyond, they will also offer 4 intervention times a week for math and ELA.
This parent is asking us to explain how the laptop loaner program will work. This week, we're going to be sending out the loaner emails to the families who indicated in their text survey back in June that they need to borrow a laptop, and we're going to ask them to sign up, or we asked them to sign up at that point. After that, we will open the program to all families. Once we have families signed up, then they will get contacted by the school when to with pickup instructions. The laptops will be checked out, but we're going to use the same type of system that we use with our library books. so that we can keep track.
Great. The next question is, if the students continue with virtual learning, how will my child be able to practice their writing skills? Well, WPR, which is our written phonogram practice, has been built into our online platform. And so the students will have paper and pencils at home, and they will practice writing the WPR during the lesson each day, as well as their spelling words. So there will be writing practice built into the online platform. And just like last quarter, they would then upload that and show it to their teacher and submit it in the online platform for their teacher to see how their writing skills are progressing.
Okay, it says this family is choosing Schoology for now. I think they mean the online learning totally. They have a first and second grader. Are we able to do their sessions at the same time on different devices, or are they going to need full parent help for the full sessions? So their students will be able to share a laptop because they can log into Schoology at a different time. The nice part about the online program is that they can do it at any time of the day or night. They also could log in. If you have two separate devices, they could be logged in at the same time.
Perfect. Well, I think you just answered this one. Is there a specific time that students need to log in each day? And the answer to that is no. They can log in from 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. any day. And like we said, they can do their work on the weekends as well, but logging in each Monday through Friday is still required.
I think this is related to Schoology again. Do we need to create a Schoology profile, or are you going to give us the passwords and usernames? Parents and students are going to receive that information about how to log into Schoology prior to the start of the school year. Additionally, we're going to host a virtual Schoology 411 to guide the parents through the platform, and it's really easy to use.
Great. The next question is there any way to request which track our children are on for blended learning? We both work full-time with limited childcare. For our family, the blue track would work best. Will parents be able to select the track that works best for their families? Unfortunately, parents can't select the track from the beginning. The school is going to assign it based on their last name. However, if you are in need based on your work schedule, and reach out to your principal, and there is space due to the number of online learners, we will be able to make an accommodation. So please stay in contact with your school principal, school administration, and they can make any exceptions there as they are fit based on the numbers in online learning. Ms. Hackett, I think that is our last question for the day. So
yes.
Yeah, so we wanted to finish with a few last minute reminders if we could. We appreciate all of the questions that have come in this evening. Thank you so much. And if you sent in a question that was not answered this evening, have no fear, give us about 72 hours and we will email out an additional FAQ document that has the answers to any additional questions. Some of them were very specific, so you also might receive a personalized email. And now that the presentation is coming to an end as well, you can post comments in the Facebook system here, and we will reply to those within the next few hours. Our last town hall, we received over 700 questions, so bear with our small group as we attempt to answer them as quickly as possible, but please, if we didn't answer something for you, you may also comment it below. And as a reminder, our website is your primary source for information, so please head on over to the Legacy Safe Return to School website to get additional information as well. And Ms. Hackett, do you want to cover these last few items?
Sure. Just a reminder that Legacy's first day of school is Wednesday, August 12th, 2020. Attendance will be tracked by monitoring students' daily login to Schoology. Students will be marked absent if they do not log in. Join the virtual first day celebration on our campus Facebook pages. Be prepared to comply with active municipal and county mandates related to face coverings on campus. And at this time, Legacy campuses remain closed to all parents, visitors, and guests. And again, just a reminder, submit your questions after this to legacytraditional.org/contact.
Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.